All right, so I've added on the green to the front. I might add another one right there, but you want to do the same. You want to do it around the heart, and you want to do the same thing on the back. Like I said, this is a little time consuming. If you don't want to do this and you just want to leave it, excuse me, if you just want to leave it as just a yellow dress, that's perfectly fine too. In some scenes of Chowder, uh, you can see that she doesn't have little speckles on it sometimes, so it's completely up to you. But if you do want to do this, like I said, it is a bit time consuming. Um, but I'm going to start on the sides and the back. And then when I come back, we can completely join the dress to the body, and we can start working on joining the arms, the tail, the heart afterwards. Because once you've done the front of the dress and you start on the sides, you don't need the heart right now because it's only on the front. So I'm going to start joining in some on the sides and the back, and then I'll come back and we'll join the arms. Alright, so this is what the back looks like. I left a little bit at the top, just regular, because the head's going to go down here. And then this is my front. So the heart will sit right in the middle, like so. Now I'm only going to, let me see, let me sew in my end to this here. This is to my torso. I'm just going to sew that in really quickly. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's getting covered. I'm just going to stab this through and push it out different side of the torso. Boom. Alright. Now what you want to do also is, it looks a mess in there, but when you squeeze your thing back on, ease it on there. Try not to pull at the stitches. Oh, maybe it'd be easier if I pulled it at the top. It's not pulled all the way up. Is that better? Yes. Okay. So now I have that heart in the middle there. The little shoes. So we've got the heart. The heart I'm going to leave almost to the very end. Now you want to get your arms. Now I've got my arms here. Let me move that out the way. Now for your arms, you just want to stuff and join on to your torso. So let me join one first, and then I'll show you how to join the other, but just join your arms. I'll be right back. Alright, now I've added on the first arm. I didn't leave a long enough tail for this one. So what I think I'm going to do is just sew in this one and just start an entirely new tail. But after you join your arms, we're going to join the tail, and then I'll probably glue on the heart after that, and then we'll move on to the head. So let me get my pink. I've got a little bit of pink yarn here. Alright, now I've attached both arms. They're just sort of going to stick out like that. I might attach something to it to make it, to make them fall a little bit lower. But now I'm just going to sew in my ends for my heart. I'm going to get my glue gun ready. And while I'm getting my glue gun ready, I'm going to start to focus on the head portion now. And I think what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to join the eyes and everything first, maybe, and then I'll go from there. Oh, no, I have to do the tail. I forgot. So while my thing is heating up, I'm going to do my tail. And my heart, I'm just going to put right in the middle right there. And let me get my glue gun. All right, now that my glue gun is heating up, I'm going to turn this around and join my tail. So you can leave the tail unstuffed if you want, or because it's just gonna go right there outside of her dress. I'm gonna stuff mine a little bit just to give it more form. I have too much in there. Pull some out. All right. All right, so now what we're gonna do, I want it at the base of her dress right there. So where does it start? Okay, so I'm just gonna go over, back out, underneath. And then under and back out underneath. And you're just gonna sew in that tail. So over, back out underneath. Over, back out underneath. Now you can go back over and sew it back over just to make sure that it's completely attached to the body. I think mine is pretty good. So I'm just going to pull through, pull this somewhere through the doll. And this is how I secure most of my tails, if they're long tails, in a pattern. I just pull it out through another part of the thing, honestly. I feel like it's harder to pull it out if it doesn't have a direct way, if it's all looping together at once. All right. So we have that. She's going to be sitting at an incline now. All right. I'm going to check my glue gun. All right. Now I'm going to get my glue gun because I believe it should be hot now. I'm just going to glue this in. Be careful with this. I have 2 glue guns and I've burned myself many a times. So you want to make sure that it's center. Is that center? And just press down. And there is our little, ow, there's our little heart in the middle. Now, our body and our torso is done. Now we're going to move on towards the head. Now we finished making the head, but there are things that have to go on it. So, for example, um, the eyes, the pupils, things like that. So I'm going to get out the things that we've made so far for the head, which is, let me get this out of the way. Which is, we've got our head here. I'm gonna undo these here. So we've got our head, and we've got our ears and our band. There we go. Our ears and our band. I'm going to start working or finishing up on the face portion. So we already have our eyes. Now what we're going to want to do is do the pinks of her eyes. So let me find something here. Now I'm using this pink yarn here that sort of matches her thing. If you don't have a darker pink yarn, you can just simply cut out, if you have felt, cut out a thing of felt, just a circle. But I'm going to be using this. Where's my orange thing here? I don't want to glare on the thing. All right, so this is just to go into the smaller portion of the eye. So they'll both sit like this on the eye. And then you'll have the pupils, the darker parts there. So we're going to use our 3mm hook this time. All right, so I have my yarn here. You're going to make a magic circle, again, as we have been doing, in your 3mm hook. And this is going to make the pink little pupils of her eyes. So you're going to do 8 single crochet. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going to pull that through, and you're going to single crochet. Actually, in this one, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch. So we're going to go into that stitch and actually do a slip stitch this time. Now you're going to get your stitch marker, and that was your starting row. Now for row 1, and the only row that you're going to be doing, you're going to do an increase, and single crochet pattern all the way around for row 1. So I did my single crochet. Now we're going to do the increase again in that next stitch. Now in that next stitch, you're going to do a single crochet, and you're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around. Now, of course, make 2. This is for your pupils. Now, if you think that it looks better just with the magic circle and the 8 single crochet, you can leave it like that. Or if you want to do it the way that I've done it, it's completely up to you. So I made 2 of these. Oh, wait, yeah. And also, when you get back to the end, you also want to slip stitch again this time. All right. Now, because I'm gluing these on, I'm going to leave a shorter tail, but if you have to sew on, leave a longer one. And this is what it's going to look like now. Whew, I thought something was wrong. She was just licking her tail. Okay, it'll look like that. And those are the eyes. Now, you can put a little black dot in the middle if you want, but I'm going to do that after I put them on the head just to see if I like that or not. Now for Panini, again, from what I'm seeing, sorry, I'm looking at pictures of her. She's the funniest little face. Now, what we could do, which is up to you guys, is so you want to make sure that you have your head facing the way that you want it to. I want mine facing this way. And you're just going to really eyeball it. The protrusions on her head sort of come out on both sides. So you want to grab a stitch marker and just decide how far apart you want the protrusions to be. So I've got mine here. Oh, come on. So you have both sides like that. So now you're going to go in to one side that has a stitch marker, and you're going to, oh, sorry, you're going to do a single crochet. All right, now the protrusions sort of go from bottom to top, so that's what I'm going to try to do. I haven't done this before, so I'm honestly eyeballing it. So you want to try to single crochet down this end here. So what I mean by that is you just go into that next stitch and do a single crochet. Go underneath. I'm turning it sideways so you can see. Go underneath that stitch and do a single crochet. Go underneath that stitch and do a single crochet. Underneath that stitch and do a single crochet. So you're single crocheting down the side of the face. Single crochet. Single crochet. All right, and it's sort of going to look like that. Now I'm going to do one more at the bottom, and then we're going to single crochet. Oh, let me do one more because it's sort of long. And you have the side right there. So now I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to turn, and I'm just going to single crochet back up that line there. I feel like that looks good enough, but actually I'm going to do maybe another row or so of that. So I'm going to go back into that same stitch that we did. That's your second row. You're going to single crochet, chain one, and you're going to go back down the line Again, just single crocheting. Chain one, turn it back around. Now it is sort of protruding out again, but it protrudes out more at the bottom. So what I'm going to do after we turn that is I'm going to do an increase in that first stitch, do an increase in that second stitch. Let's see. And we'll do an increase in the third stitch, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into that next stitch and yarn off. So it's sort of looking like that on the side. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Give me one moment. Alright, now I've done the same thing for both sides. I'm going to start sewing in the ends to it. And then now that that's done, we can start assembling the face. So, wait, which way is it? This way. I'm going to start sewing in my ends, and I'm also going to sew in my ends for my eyeballs, and then we can get to embellishing them. So it's supposed to sit like that. So I have a little preview of what it's supposed to look like. I'm waiting for my glue gun to get hot, and then that will determine how I will make the mouth. So I'm just going to glue on my eyes first, just so I get a sense of what the head is going to look like. Or the eyes, the face to look like specifically. And then we'll go from there. So I'm just waiting for my glue gun. While I'm waiting, I guess I could sew in my ends. While you have time, sew in your ends. Well, no, I can't for this, because the last thing you have to sew in is the head. And so I'll just wait on that. Alright, I've got my glue gun hot. Now you want to glue it exactly how you see it here. So I'm going to glue this part on this before I do anything else. So I'm going to leave this here as a mental image for myself. I'm going to do it lower like that. Alright. Now do it right here. Just press that down. And then I'm going to glue that against this. So you see how that puffs up? That's why I wanted to glue it like that. So I'm going to glue that there. Ooh, alright, let's make sure I don't burn myself. I'm going to go right about there. Fill that out. There we go. So that's one eye. And then the next one goes, because her eyes are pretty close together. I'm going to go like that. So, that, with this, I'm going to put them really close. Because her eyes are close, like that. Ow. Trying to get that excess glue out. Excess glue to move. Alright, now I want to put that closer like that. I want the eyes pretty close, like that. Yeah. Ow. I'm gonna glue that side. And I'm gonna sit that right there. Perfect. Just gonna ease it. Ow! So there are the eyes. There we go. It's kind of creepy looking. All right. So now we can start with her nose. Now, the nose portion is also still pink. So, in some pictures it's pink, in some pictures it's the same pink as her skin. So, you could again use felt if you have felt. Since I don't have felt, I'm just going to eyeball it. So, you're going to again take your 3mm hook and you're going to chain, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to chain 4. And then you're just going to single crochet down that chain. Actually, single crochet down in the next 2 stitches. And in that last stitch, do a slip stitch. And chain 1. And that will give that little knob there of her nose. So of course you're going to have to do a little shape it like that. And that's her little nose. Now for the mouth portion, I have black yarn, but I also don't have as much black yarn as I have black felt. So what I think I'm gonna do, if I can find it, is the rest of this I'm going to just cut out. Let's see, so this is her nose. I'm gonna leave that there. She sort of has a, let me move this out of the way so this won't be confusing. She has sort of a, like a dip of a mouth. So I'm going to cut out a couple to see what it looks like. So it would mostly be like a, or I can start here and just do and then sort of curve it up and out, sort of like that. But it'll be more of a curve at her mouth because she has like a smiling little mouth. But see, that's too big. I don't know if you can see, that's too big. So we're going to have to trim it a little bit. So I'm just going to trim it until it looks and can fit her little face. I'll probably have to keep cutting it, but this is how I do it. Still kind of big to me. And there's also, you'd also pretty much do the same thing when you're doing her tongue, because her tongue is orange, and you'd be pretty much making it the same way as that. So that's kind of cute. I don't know if I should put it off to the side though, or what, but we'll figure it out. So something about this big. I hope that's even. Let me see. So kind of uneven there. There we go. So a little space like that. And then for the orange, which we've been using this entire project to cover that up, you pretty much do like a curved little, like a curve right there. And I'll show you what I mean. So like because that's the tongue. So it would go on this side of the mouth. Like that. Oh, that's cute. And that would be for the orange felt. Now, I think that's pretty much it for her face. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to do it off to the side, or does that look better that way? I can't decide. Because her nose is there and I want it to be on the face more. So I think I might do it there, because the lower I get, the face is gonna be sewn like that. So I have to make sure that you can see the mouth. So I'm gonna add on my nose so you guys can see what that looks like. I'm gonna add on my mouth, and then we're just gonna add on the ears once the ears. But I almost forgot to include this part. This part is for people who don't have felt and still want to make the mouth. Now I made her mouth with felt, and I made it sort of in like a smile. If you don't want to do that, you could literally just do like a little dot, like just sew in a smiley face. If you don't want to do that, it's entirely up to you. But this is for people who don't have felt. So for the black part of the mouth, the smiling part, you're going to take your black yarn and your 3mm hook, and you are going to, make a slip knot, and you're going to chain 8. One moment. And you're going to chain 8. So we're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to single crochet back down that row. All right, now that's your starting row. You're going to chain 1. You're going to turn your work. And for rows 1 and 2, you're just going to single crochet down the row. So remember to go into this stitch that you chained, the stitch underneath your chain, and you're just going to single crochet down. Make sure to chain one, and remember to go back into that stitch underneath and just single crochet back down. Oh! Alright, so that was row 1 and 2. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn. And for row 3, you are going to do a... Did I chain 1? Yeah, chain 1. Now you're going to do an increase in that first stitch again. But now you're going to do an increase. Go into that same stitch, but you're going to do an increase in that stitch. And then in the next 2 stitches, you're just going to do a single crochet. So that's your first single crochet. Go into the next stitch, do another single crochet. And in that next stitch, you're going to do another increase. Now in the next 2 stitches, again, you're going to do a single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. This is the second stitch. And in that last stitch, you're going to do another increase. So it's going to start to form like that. Now the last row, which is row 4, you are just going to single crochet down that row. So, and make sure you single crochet all the way down that row. And when you're done, you'll have something that looks like this. So it still has sort of like that smile part. Now, so that's the black part, that's for your mouth. I don't have orange yarn, which is why I use felt. Otherwise, I would have, made it with orange yarn. So with this, I'm going to use my white yarn, but of course you'll be using orange yarn for this. And this is now the little orange part to them, her tongue. This is the tongue, but make sure if you have orange yarn to use your orange. Now for the tongue part, again, you're going to take your 3mm hook and you're going to make a magic circle. Chain your 1, and you're going to put 8 single crochet into that magic circle. So that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, you're going to pull that through and single crochet into that top stitch. Now, I don't know where my stitch markers ran off to, so I'm just going to use a little bit of my black yarn as a stitch marker. But you want to insert your stitch marker here. Ooh, that was horrible. Hold on. Come on. There we go. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do an increase in that next stitch. And then in that next stitch after that, you're going to do a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So this is the first single crochet. Go into that next stitch. That's your second single crochet. And in that next stitch after that, you're going to do another increase. And you're going to slip stitch into that same stitch and yarn off. Now I'm going to leave a small tail because I'm going to reuse this again. And this is going to go as like the side here for the tongue. And now, last but not least, you just have that little white triangle. Of course, make this in orange. And then for the little white triangle, which is really easy, you're again going to take your 3mm hook. Sorry, I had to cut the video. I didn't want it to be too long. You're going to take your 3mm hook and your white yarn this time. And I did that one, of course, because I didn't have the orange. But this will be in white. The tooth is white. I just made a bigger tooth. You can make 2 teeth if you want to, but I'm just going to make one like I did with the felt. So you're going to do a slip knot. You're going to do a slip knot, and you're going to chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to skip that first stitch and you're going to go into the second stitch. So you got the stitch on your hook, you're going to skip that stitch, this stitch here, and you're going to go into the next one and you're going to do a decrease, which takes up 2 stitches. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 3. There's your triangle, chain 1, and yarn off. Let's see. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that chain 1. Let me see. What if I did a slip stitch? No, that doesn't work. Hold on. Yeah, I guess that's a little triangle. And that will serve as her teeth. Let me just put that up here. And of course you can mold it to where it looks more like a little triangle. But that'll be her little tooth there. I'm just not liking how that... Let me yarn this off and see, just to make sure. So the triangle would go here, and then the other thing there. And it looks only looks weird because that's still white, but that'll be orange. All right, and that's how it would look, and you would just sew in your ends and glue that in. I'm not really liking that triangle, but that's, I guess, the most triangle that it's going to look like. So that's for if you don't have any felt. So let's move on to the rest of the video. All right, I've got it on my nose. I just glued my orange part to the felt, the black felt, but I am still uncertain of where I should put the mouth, because that's sort of what it would sit like. Or I could put it here where her face is, where the mouth is sort of off to the side. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm just going to add that on last because I can't decide yet. And I don't want to put it on and then not like it. So for right now, I'm going to leave the mask off. But you can decide where you want to put the mouth too. Because, like I said, you could either put it here where it's just, but remember the head has to sit like right there. So it could go here or it could go off to the side in a more animated look. It's up to y'all, but I'm going to wait to do mine because I can't decide yet. So now we're going to get into our ears, which is the last thing. This looks kind of creepy. She's staring directly at me. You'll get away. Okay. All right. So we have our ears now. The ears I'm just going to sew in my ends to. Well, not the long ends, but because you're going to have to sew the ears on to the head at the base of the head. So I'm going to sew in my long ends and be right back to show you how to sew them on the head. All right, so I'm going to take my head again, and you want the ears to sit, because that's her face. I have to make sure this is how her head is going to sit. So the ears need to also be visible there. And you want the ears to sit like this on the head. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to yarn off these pieces, join in another piece. I'm going to sew them together first and then sew them on the head. So give me one moment. All right, so I sewed my ends off. Now what I'm going to do is I have the two like this. I'm going to go into the back of one and out the other and pull my string until it's enough to yarn off with. And then I'm just going to sew these, please focus, sew these together, going down one side. Go through. Go back through this one that didn't take. All right, so now the ears are slightly like that. Now you're going to want to sit them at the top of the head, like so. And just let me make sure that, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure it's far enough at the top of the head. So I want mine right here. So again, like we've done with the rest of this pattern, you're just going to go in. I go through the bottom and go through and pull out. You want to make sure these are secure so they'll stand up. Go through the bottom again and out the top. Go through the bottom. Go here. All right, I'm gonna go back out the back here. Pull it like that. They're kind of floppy. There they go. They're standing up now. And I'm just gonna pull this out, tug this down somewhere in the, oh, did I lose it? Tug this somewhere down and push it back out so that it's standing up as straight as it can go. And I'm going to yarn off here, yarn off my other tail, and now we just have to join the band around the ears. I'm going to yarn off this tail too. Just going to push this farther down and pull out. There we go. So you want the ears to sort of lay like that. All right. And I think I know what I'm missing from this. I'm missing her fangs. So maybe if I put fangs on it, it would look right. All right. So we have her little ears, which are really cute. Have her little ears. Now we're going to get that band, that yellow band that we made. Let me get this stuff. pushed out the way. A clear view of things. So we're going to take that band that we made, and I have to sew in one end. Doesn't have to be cute because nobody's seeing that. Alright, so now the band goes above the ears or around the ears. So you're going to want to just scooch that. And it's supposed to sit like that around the ears. Now I'm going to take, oh, I should have did that the opposite way, because the thing's there like this. Hold it down. There we go. There, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so this, now you can leave it like this if you want, or you can sew it in. I'm going to sew mine down. And I think what I'm going to do just to keep it in place is I'm going to slightly glue these two pieces together so that they're joined properly and they won't flop over, because I feel like it gives a better illusion to it when they're sort of stuck up together, because right now they're sort of, I mean, they're sitting, but you know. So I'm going to make sure that you have your ears, and again, just start sewing it in. There we go. There we go. What is this? Come on. Alright. Boom. You're just going to sew this in. And make sure you sew it as directly underneath it as possible, especially when you're sewing in different colors, because it just helps for the colors not to, you not to see your stitches. There we go. Getting off the side here. And like I said, you can leave this off if you want and just leave it, you can just leave it without sewing it in. It's up to you. There we go. All right, I'm going to finish sewing mine in. All right, I'm just going to slightly glue these two pieces together like this so that it sticks straighter up. A little bit. And there you have it. All right. Now, the reason why I think the mouth looks strange is because there are no fangs, and I do have white felt, so I'm going to see what that looks like. If not, I'm just going, yeah, that looks cuter, though. I like it off to the side. I'm going to add the fangs and see if I like that. If not, you just add your mouth. You can either add it here or there. But give me one moment to see if I like the fangs, which will just be two little triangles that I cut out of white felt. And then we'll just put the head on the body and then we're done. Okay, now I don't have white felt, I have tan felt. That's the closest I have to it. And I cut out the little triangles to it, which I just cut off the edge piece to the felt. And I'm trying to see if I like it. So her head's going to be that way. I think that looks weird, but I feel like that looks a little better. I'm just going to glue. I like my head. This is her little head right here. I think I'm going to glue it on the side. I think that looks more animated. I'm going to glue mine on the side here. hot. Be careful. Let's see, where did my teeth go? Do I need the teeth there? I might. Let's see. Does that look right? I feel like she looks crazy. Okay, what I've decided to do was I just cut out a bigger triangle, and I think that's gonna work for me. Is that little triangle, the bigger triangle than little triangles, and I'm just gonna put that there. All right, now I'm gonna stretch this farther out, move the camera so you can see the finished product. All right, this is Panini. This is my first time doing her, so this is her. I tried to make her look as close to the picture as I saw. She may look possessed, I can't tell, honestly, but I think it's cute. Tell me what you guys think. This is Panini from Chowder, and yeah, thank you for visiting my channel, and I will see you very soon. ears are added on. All we
All
have
right,
to
again,
do is add
excuse
on
the
the
background
head.
noise because I've got the air conditioner on.